Alright everyone, welcome to my next tutorial. This one's going to be on the Visualboy Advance-M emulator. This is probably the best emulator to use right now. It will allow you to play the games in almost HD quality. So what we're going to do to get that downloaded, we're going to go over to your browser. We're going to type in Visualgameboy Advance in GitHub. You want to make sure you type it like this. There are a lot of sites out there pretending to be the the original web host for the emulator. This is the correct one. So you're going to click on that link. You're going to go over to latest. As of this video, the current version is 2.1.6. That's the latest one. So go ahead and download that to your computer, unzip it to whatever directory you want, and you're going to go ahead and launch the program from there. Once you do that, you're going to launch your program. Right now I do have the Reshade loaded in the background. I do not have it activated, so I will show you how to set that up later. So right now what we're going to do is go ahead and show the menu on here. So you can hit Control or Alt and Enter, and you will see this come up every time it changes. So we're going to go into Options. You're going to go to Video, Configure. Now I played around with this a little bit, but it looks like the best one is this setting right here, XBRZ4X. You're going to leave motion blur enabled if you kind of wanted it to look like the Game Boy, where it has that slight blur as it moves. For speed, you're going to leave that at 0. I prefer the none on this one. Zoom, we'll leave that as is. The audio, I find it works better for me if I set it at 48. Advanced, I did notice some frame skipping if I didn't do direct sound. It may differ for you, but I did pick direct sound for this one here. I left that unenabled because it seems to run fine without that enabled. Gonna go to there, and these are things you can leave, more or less the default as they come. So you can see the settings there, just leave those pretty much as is. That's going to stay the same way. I'm just going through here to make sure. Now the directories, this is better for you to set this up so you don't have to keep going to the round folder every single time. You can specify where the files are at with this tab right there. And once you have that, I'm going to go ahead and start the game so you can kind of see what it looks like. And then I'll go ahead and enable the reshade. So as you can see, that's running super smooth with that little slight blur effect on there. So I'm gonna go ahead and re-enable reshade here. And the way I have it set up is I pick advanced CRT here, and as you can see, they gave it the scan lines. You can kind of play around with this to your preference, but usually I find out that more or less in and around this setting right here, it's going to give you the best performance, because what it does is smooth out the graphics on there. So see, it does look like it needs a little bit of adjusting, so we're going to go back on there, uncheck the performance, the options will come up. So the resolution is right here, so we're going to play around with that a little bit to those lines. The only lines you want to see are the scan lines, so we're going to play around with those a little bit. There you go. So that setting there was 7.379. You might also want to hit brightness up a little bit. It tends to dim the screen a little bit once you use this effect. So usually in and around 1.500 is pretty good. You want to click performance, it will enable it to run faster, and now you can notice the difference. Looks way better. Alright, that's enough of that demo. So as you can see, the graphics are super good compared to the default settings. Now I'm going to put the link to the emulator on the details. Also for Reshade, if you do look at my channel, there is a video there on how to set up Reshade. So I hope you guys can use this video. If you do, give me a thumbs up, and I appreciate if you hit subscribe. You guys have a good one.